I want to hear that.
Yes,
Exactly.
Boys and Nathan Harris, among others, have already argued that this doesn't work. They've proven this doesn't work, in part because all the things that you're talking about require public policy to be allowed to buy the land, to put up the store, to get the permits. It requires the dependence on a black customer base that you're saying is getting all this money from food stamps, with the suggestion that food stamps are some wealth-producing miracle.
They are.
Absolutely not. But
welfare and food stamps have made fortunes for the Trumps. The people, look, take people I'm trying to tell you.
Again, you haven't let me.
No, the
cats. I'm glad you're saying because I didn't cut off. Let me know I'm cut off. Remember, when this video started, he had already gone.
Look at me, hold on. When I come back.
Well, I'll vouch for that. I'm ready to hear this.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
So again,
I'm just sitting back.
The problem that you started with, again, started with the policy and all that you just skip over. We're just going to put a grocery store somewhere, and we're not talking about where the groceries going to come from, who's delivering the groceries, who's all of that requires relationships to an economy that is broad. So that's why Marisa Baradaran said, you, as quoting others, you can segregate people, but you cannot segregate an economy. No one's wealth started because they started a small business, circulated their welfare, and developed business and wealth for their community that they now have accumulated. That's not how wealth is created. Their wealth was created, again, primarily through violent conquering, violent accumulation primitively of land and business and resources, suppressing labor, all of that. Then they come in and they set up, a few businesses. Look at what happened to the black billionaires he's labeled it, these Don Peoples. He tried to do what you're all claiming. He said, I'm going to do in New York City by building this whole, put in billions of dollars, and he couldn't get the public policy permits. He was not allowed to come in there. Why? Because they said your customer base is black, they don't make enough money, and there's not going to, therefore you cannot have a wealth generating business or block or land or whatever on the basis of poor people. Black people are held poor through public policy and exploitation. If we want to change that, we need to gain access to the policy, the political power that says if you create wealth, whether you're a genius in DeFi or a genius in Bitcoin investment or a genius, it doesn't matter. If you create wealth, all of the poor people who support that economy by going to work and buying your products and cleaning your streets and picking up your trash, they should eat too. Okay. They should have vacations and health care too.
So, let me break it down.
I'm going to let you go. But after that,
by the way, real quick. This is the question I want to end on because I don't want this to be left on video or anywhere else to Jared's ability to make the perfect argument in this moment. So this is what I want to ask you. What evidence, beyond the false claim you've already made, that any oppressed community has overcome their economic material inequality through business and dollar circulation?
Okay.
The first part of any examples.
Let him talk, and I will answer your question.
The first part of this is that you can always keep going back and going, this is not happening. This has not happened in the past. These things don't happen in our community. You can go back and do that. Or you can take the model that we've seen others use, like he just said. This man needs to his community.
Not everybody can do the same thing, though. That's my point.
No, that's what I'm telling you.
To say that black people, I am cutting you off, but to say that black people, I admit it, but to say that black people who have a very particular history in this country, relationship to this country, can somehow do what others do, is part of the mythology that my work is
no, that is part of the mindset that stops them from doing it.
Agreed.
That's the difference.
Agreed.
Right? Listen, bro, I tell this story all the time. I told you where I was at. I was literally.
You gave me an individual anecdote. We could all do that, but the point is the community doesn't benefit.
So if
let the brother speak. I need to get back.
If my seed can't grow a forest, like I said, if one person can't go out and do it in, where was you saying, what community was you in?
Fort Greene.
In Fort Greene. If one dude from our community can't go and do it, then of course nobody can do it. But the moment you have one seed that can do it, inside of that seed are many other seeds. You have to teach and train.
That's the mythology. That's
not
capitalism.
A myth.
Capitalism tells you that because one did it, anyone else can do it. But that's exactly
You see, he
false.
cuts me every room.
did. Okay, so
I'm just gonna let him talk.
Let me
I'm
just
just
jump
gonna
in.
chill for a
So
minute.
first we're
I'm
going
gonna
to
chill for a
address
minute. Go ahead, right here.
what they call the mythology, but it's not really mythology.
Yeah.
I said I started in Fort Greene. Fort Greene was one of the most violent communities in this country. Not in the city, not in the state, in this country. Okay, last year, anybody saw me speak last year?
I know
Right?
you got, I get it.
Right?
Again,
What
what does
happened?
that have to do with it?
I'm going to explain it to you because
And I want the example. You said you were going to give the example.
brother, you also wanted the uninterrupted, correct? Give me that leeway. Okay, so he's asking the question, where was wealth created due to reinvesting in the economy? That's a false premise. So,
The question restated, you falsely restated my question.
Okay, state your question.
When has an oppressed community circulated its own wealth or resources to overturn its economic inequality or material inequality or political?
Okay, and the answer is it doesn't matter because nobody's addressing that, right? You want to know where wealth came from. Does anyone know where wealth came from?
Break it down for him, Reggie.
Okay. Well, that's a good question.
Break it down for him, Reggie.
Listen, that may be a good question, but for those who are seeking wealth, they don't really want to hear that question. They want to know, where does the wealth come from? Which would you rather hear, that or where you make the money? Where you make the money? Okay. So, you let someone else address him, I'm going to tell you how you make money. Right? I'm into making money. Right? No, I'm going to address
You said you would give me a specific example.
Of what you're talking about. Because, listen, he's trying to, now what's happening, he's trying to adjust the argument. Right? Most people don't know how to become more wealthy. Either individually or as a group. Okay? So, if you want to know where it comes from, it is owning the infrastructure. Once you own the infrastructure, you own everything else. Okay? Infrastructure is what guides politics. Right? The dog wags the tail doesn't wag the dog.
Totally bad.
Okay? So I understand that, but I'm living proof. I'm not wealthy, but I have witnessed a lot of wealth. I've made a lot of people wealthy. And I don't mean one or two, I don't mean a dozen, I don't mean 100.
That's what
I made
capitalism does,
thousands,
creates wealth
right?
for other people. So of course you've made other people.
Okay, but
we all have made other people.
But what does my shirt say? What does my shirt say? The father of DeFi, right? What all these conferences about in New York and in Tokyo and Singapore, decentralized finance, I created that. You
So
see
he's
that
just creating a
CTO?
commercial that he's claiming is a response to my question.
No, I'm explaining. Right? DeFi is an infrastructure for value transfer. The Federal Reserve, the bastion of capitalism, right? Rumor has it, because I can't say it personally, rumor has it that they do something that infringes on some black man's patent. Okay? Goldman Sachs, Citibank, JP Morgan, the bastions of capitalism. I'm not special.
So
right?
how does you owning the infrastructure create wealth?
Listen, that's right. It's not a commercial. This is an explanation. I am not special. I explain. I grew up. Look, I got gunpowder. I got C-57 point blank in the front, out the back. Right? I've been shot at many times. I got scars everywhere. Right? I grew up in the fire, and I was a good boy. Right? But I'm here. I'm not special. But I learned that if you own the infrastructure, everybody has a computer infrastructure.
So again, Marx made that clear a long time ago. The owners of the means of production that's the owners of the economy.
Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing?
So excuse me.
Wait, no, you can't. Excuse me, you interrupted me, brother.
It's not a good thing.
Okay,
That's what Marx's critique was.
Okay, but brother, you can't say wait. He's interrupted me. He's interrupted
Wait a minute. You just asked me to answer the question.
I gotta take this on stage. I usually moderate. You know, in the room, I usually moderate. So hold on.
Okay, so he said,
you know what? That's what we gotta do.
Okay, so it's like this. I'm gonna wind down.
Go ahead.
So he said the owner of the
Clubhouse.
infrastructure controls things. Okay, if you want your community to control things, the way to do it is for them to own the
And
infrastructure.
how do you do that?
Right?
Political power, the owners
No,
of society.
I tell you what.
Hold on.
I'm going to challenge that. I'm going to end up.
Here's the time.
We're
Here's the
challenge
thing.
that right
We're gonna
there.
have 3 minutes for everyone to speak. No over, no nothing. Yeah.
Take this on stage during
Somebody gotta reclaim their time. If somebody interrupts, they get to get that money.
You gotta
If
interrupt
that-
him. Sure,
Yeah, you already know. All right, you ready? So here we go. That's the clock. So we're gonna go 3 minutes.
Okay.
All right, so who's going first?
Yeah.
His argument is, he said give an example, and I'm just going to say this,
That's just like somebody before the 4-minute mile saying, give me an example of somebody running a mile in under 4 minutes. That's crazy. Of course, if it hasn't happened, doesn't mean it won't happen. No, that's exactly the thing. So go ahead.
Okay, so
ready?
Did you mind if I answer his though? No, man, that's disingenuous.
Everybody can speak. Everybody can speak.
You can't go back and say, this thing has not happened, so it will never happen. Past performance does not dictate future performance.
But making claims about what will happen in the future based on.
But we can take other. But every time I bring up some example, you say it's not black. They're not black. They're not black. Those people aren't black.
That's not what happened. You're misrepresenting. You said first of all, the initial question was cooperatives.
Yes.
So that's why I pointed to the history that shows that they don't work. So if you're going, wait a minute, because if you're going to say we should do something, and then you want to ignore the history of the decades of data showing that project doesn't work.
Did you what you just said? It doesn't work. Before my man ran the 4-minute mile, nobody did it. That don't mean it's not going to happen.
The equivalence would be if I said no human being has ever broken a record that has ever been established. That would be the equivalence you're looking for. Saying that no one can break the 4-minute mile because it has never been done is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you are ignoring all of the history that suggests that you are.
I'm not.
Yeah, given what you said is true.
Because
we can shut this down. Look,
okay. So you can't say you've researched it if you're also ignoring all of the critique of it. And why was there a critique? Because the cooperatives, even the ones that exist today, they're limited because they're based on satisfying a community that doesn't have.
So this is going to sound rude, and I'm not rude. I'm not being impolite, but I'm going to ask. Right? I'm definitely not much respect to you, brother.
He's gone.
Right? No. So no. Okay. Are you well versed in wealth?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Have you created wealth?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No. Wait. I have for other people. I create wealth for other people all the time.
Okay. At what level have you created the wealth? At the level you're discussing?
I am just like the rest of us, part of a community that has produced about $150 trillion in wealth for the 1% who own it last year.
How much have you?
About $150 trillion for other people. For other people, yeah. Okay. I'm a worker. I'm part of an economy.
Right. So being part of an economy does not create $150 trillion.
That's exactly wrong.
Right. Let's assume.
What you're saying is, I thought you said you understood.
Okay. So let's assume the economy you talk about the U.S. 330 million roughly. You created 331 million of that wealth.
No, like everybody else who shops, pays taxes, goes to work, puts gas in their car,
right?
Like all of those other people,
right?
I and all of them created that wealth for that 1%. And I'm saying the public policy we need would redistribute that, so we didn't have all this inequality that leads to these ridiculous arguments.
Wait, no. What political movement has? Okay. What political movement has changed the entire situation for Black America?
So wait a minute. First, hold on. Wait a minute.
But I can't answer that.
No.
I can't answer that.
I'm trying to get this point across. So I listened to what he said. I listened to what the brother said, right? Parking your car, putting gas in, that's not creating wealth.
Right? You don't understand the economy.
So no problem. Now let me speak. Okay? He says he does that. I'm a guy who claims to have patented one of the greatest wealth creations, right, of this generation. Right? I've said I've made over 1,000 million, close to 1,000, not over. I said I predicted collapse of banks. Okay? When you create wealth, you create excess value for yourself or for others. Putting gas in your car does not create excess value.
Absolutely it does. You don't understand the economy. You're misrepresenting the economy to your audience.
Okay, so I'm going to let that go. I'm misrepresenting the economy. The brother said he's not wealthy and has not created wealth.
And this is so condescending. The idea that poor people can't understand the economy.
No. I didn't say poor people.
You said,
so, brother, now it's very
difficult. You be shooting from a different gun.
Okay, wait. No. He said he's been interrupting me ever since the start. I'm trying to speak.
You put out the danger on that.
I'm trying to speak uninterrupted, brother. You're not allowing me to do it. So that's why put the focus on me. So number one, I'm not doing this from a disrespectful perspective, but I'm saying you can't go up to someone who doesn't know how to drive a car and listen to give advice on racing. Okay?
Just like you can't go to people who are exploiting working people and expect them to give you an honest assessment of that exploitation.
So fair enough. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go up to K Street, right? We're in D.C. This is a political bastion of the country. I'd say the world, because this is the world's leading economy. Okay? K Street does not listen, right, to the professors. K Street obeys
You're
what?
disrespecting your audience by not explaining.
Oh, wait,
that
wait,
where the lobbyists are.
Okay.
The lobbyists take
Put
the money
my
from
camera over
the
here
business people.
because the brother's not letting me talk uninterrupted.
But you
speak.
context. But he's
No,
also
not when I'm speaking.
the
No.
whole, your
So, brother,
audience is being
do me a favor, brother.
You got it.
Finish.
Both of you guys are in the frame.
Okay, so listen.
That's disrespectful
So,
to your audience.
K Street respects capital.
What is K Street?
Okay, K Street respects capital.
What is K
The
Street?
lobbyists respect capital.
What are
Okay?
lobbyists?
So lobbyists are people who are paid by capitalists to make changes.
To impact policy
Okay.
makers.
So listen, the way you're doing it, listen.
Exactly.
The way you're suggesting is absolutely powerless.
No, it's not.
It has never worked in this country once.
So you're saying that social movements have never impacted this society?
No, I'm saying the social movements
Public-
have never.
wait.
He's asked the question.
No, I did. I said
He's interrupted me.
I said social movements are what we need. Political movements. He
Okay.
said they've never had any impact.
And what impact have they had on K Street relative to the capitalists?
K Street.
Just answer that question.
K Street was-
No. Answer the question.
K Street was developed to be a response to political movements in the street, so that lobbyists would have a direct pathway to politicians without having to listen to all the people in the street. That's what K Street
But
exists
you haven't
for.
answered the question.
I am answering the question. K Street exists
What?
as the capitalist answer to us.
That's not an answer to the question,
movement.
black man.
Answer the question. Ask the question.
What social movement, or how did the social movement?
I'm saying-
Listen, how did the social movement affect K Street
It,
relative to the capitalists? What did K Street do?
K Street
to
doesn't
respond?
exist without the movement.
That's not an answer to the question.
How can you tell? Wait,
That's not an
I'm
answer.
telling you that.
Do you understand? Anybody
Wait a
understand the
minute,
question?
Reggie.
Explain it to the
Reggie.
brother. Come on, explain the question to the brother.
He didn't even hear the question. Reggie, wait. Why are you bringing him in to answer my
Because
question?
you're not answering my
You don't know.
question.
You don't like the answer because you don't understand.
I don't
it doesn't go
I don't even like the answer.
No, really, it's not that. No, the U.S. issue is fundamentally, and we've had this conversation. He's talking individual wealth. You're talking scalable wealth.
That's not true, though. That's not true.
That's not true. That is true.
Because even when you're talking right now, you're saying that the wealth I created for other people. You're not talking about that you created for the community, which he's concerned about. Because if you were saying that you created 1,000 millionaires within our community, that's different than you said I created 1,000 millionaires. That's them who's already creating wealth.
Where are the millionaires I created? Where are they?
No,
Don't answer the question. Give me an answer. Wait. I asked
From what you're saying,
too many games, Reggie.
you said the Federal Reserve is using parts of your patent. You said J.P. Morgan Chase is using parts of your patent.
I didn't say that. I worded it differently.
Goldman Sachs, and we know that the shareholders and the ones who are benefiting from that are the predominantly European white people.
You're avoiding my question. Where are the 1,000 millionaires I created? Where are they?
In America,
Are
Japan, China.
Are they in our community?
And are they black? The 1,000 million? I don't think so.
But you think so, but you don't know, right?
I would say I don't know.
But I do want to.
And that's sort of the point.
I do want to answer that question.
And then what he's saying is like saying without
We need to get on the stage
without
together, him and I,
demonstrative
right?
research. No, because
But we need to limit it, you know?
you guys are actually.
I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like.